back to Angry Meat Production. We actually finally got into anti-quarantine since quarantine's over. Michael, you were saying that you were wondering if it's going to go up in the next 3 months, going back to where we're beginning right now.
Well, if you follow virology just even a little bit, and you realize that the temperatures, as they were saying, were supposed to kill this off, but if you look at any of the countries in tropical climates, the high temperatures did not kill it off. Matter of fact, it was actually worse in areas with higher climates.
Yeah.
So, once we come out of quarantine, which we came out of quarantine today, if there's even one person capable of spreading it, it's going to start spreading all over again, and then they're going to put us back in quarantine, and it won't take 3 months.
Yeah. Well, on something like that, I think the virus doesn't kill. A virus doesn't kill off. No matter what virus it is, it takes like 150 degrees. What about places like where it's mostly desert, where they can get 120 up there? Or is it more in the lines of the air where it's has more moisture in it?
Well, I really don't think it has as much to do with the moisture content, because you're seeing it in both places with high moisture content and low moisture content. In other words, you look at some of the desert countries that have had to fight with the same virus. The desert climate didn't keep them from spreading the virus. And, you want to couple that together with just the simple fact that, like, when they're autoclaving something to kill a virus, it has to go, to 500 degrees Fahrenheit or 300 degrees Fahrenheit, which is relatively high temperatures.
Yeah, you almost have to blow up before you can actually kill the virus.
Sorry.
Or from what a lot of people are saying with Trump is saying to drink bleach. You could try that. It gets rid of the people that are
smart enough to try it.
Try it. Yeah, they're really brilliant for trying it. But I don't know. I'm just really getting tired of this whole Corona talking and everything, and everybody's speculations. Even doctors don't even know the full effect. At one point in time, it was high end to where you were going to get the virus and everybody was going to die, and then they just like, oh wait, only 20 people are really that bad. I know a person that was talking to a couple of doctors in New York that had like 150 people working there, and they're like, how many people are you out right now? And this is mid-March, when it was like on its upbring, and everybody was getting tested and trying to find out if they had the coronavirus. Well, we had one person get knocked out and couldn't come back to work. No, really, out of how many? 150. I mean, if you look at the percentages on that, that's far better than what it actually should have been from what everybody was saying.
Well, and I agree, and the
flu virus is way worse.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is the whole reason this was such a big thing is because it was something that we weren't familiar with. It was something we didn't know anything about. And rather than taking the risk of, say this virus even had a 10% kill rate instead of, the 1% that it does.
That's not, I think, well, it was up to like 3 to 2%, I think.
As we progressed through the virus, in other words, they were saying it was at 3% at first. And as we progressed through the virus, it dropped down to my prediction of it being a 1% kill rate similar to the flu.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the pneumonia-like symptoms, if treated before they completely progress into pneumonia,
yeah. And that's with any virus. I mean, cold does that. Flu can do that. You could have a really bad sinus infection and it goes full blown, and you can get pneumonia.
Now,
bronchitis, and you can die from bronchitis.
there were a specific set of circumstances that they were saying happens within the lungs specific to this virus, which makes it difficult to treat. I think a part of that was due to respirators, and I think a part of that was due to a combination. In other words, that person was already sick with something, and it interacted with the virus to create something that was even worse. So it was a death that was attributed to coronavirus, but it was a combination of coronavirus and something else. So I think where they're at now is, they're saying that it really has dropped down to about the same death toll ratio as what the flu is counted as having, even though there were less people who have an immunity to it. So in all reality, you're correct in what you say, that it's less lethal than the flu in totality, because a lot of our reduction in death rates from the flu comes from the fact that it's been around so long, and there's a large number of people in the communities that have an immunity to it, and therefore it doesn't spread as far.
Yeah.
The people who would have died from it are protected by herd immunity.
I have to highly disagree with that, because really, honestly, if you think about it, with social distancing, what's happened is it slowed down Corona, because Corona isn't a new thing. Everybody keeps thinking Corona-19, oh my God, it's a new invention. It's a form of flu that's just meaner.
Well, you're slightly wrong on that. Corona is not a new thing, but the specific strain.
This is, Corona-19, because they haven't named it, it's new. But it's a mutation of previous viruses.
And now, the coronavirus
like
is a mutation that was only, this specific coronavirus is a mutation that was only catchable by bats. Now, some of the stuff that they've recently released indicates that they were working on the coronavirus that infects those specific bats in China, and they were trying to find a way to alleviate the bat population of having this specific strain of corona. And when they were in the process of doing that, they stumbled upon the specific strain that is possible for humans to catch.
Yeah, cross species. But what I'm trying to say is the death rate would have been a hell of a lot higher if there hadn't been social distancing. Than flu. It's not a less deadly virus.
Here's the thing about that. Whenever each year, winter time, when
you have a new flu,
you have a new flu,
yeah,
or just any kind of new virus. This is literally the first virus since Spanish flu to where everybody was saying, "Hey, we need to social distance. We need to stay at home. We need to do this." We hadn't done that in how many years?
And the reason for
it's
that
literally been about 100 years.
Think of all the scares. You had the bird flu, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
those really honestly kicked off like this.
But this is what you're not understanding.
This one had the possibility.
Well, the reason for social distancing is because there was no herd immunity. That's why the flu doesn't take near as many people, is because there is a herd immunity to the flu.
Huh?
But okay, you take the flu out. Here's the flu, we put this over here. What about the other diseases that we've had in the past couple of years?
That's a form of the flu. That's swine flu.
Okay. And Ebola. And they had a big Ebola scare for a while. Now, the difference between that time period and this time period, we have a more media standpoint where everybody has an opinion nowadays. And everybody's showing an opinion. And what our president did starting out, he basically called off traffic. He did that. That was good. The other presidents, this is including Bush, Clinton, Obama, Bush 1, Bush 2, basically. Whenever we had a new virus like that, no one stopped traffic. He literally saw what the public, even when they were in the war room or the coronavirus task force where they were starting out and they were doing the dailies, he was the only one. It's like, you know what, we might as well just stop traffic right now and just see if we can nip this in the bud. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Now, saying that, because of the social media, and everybody wanting to go against someone like Trump. And this isn't for Trump or against Trump. If a person that was Democratic and a liberal going out and doing the same job Trump is doing, which we had back when Obama was in office, no one said anything, and we didn't. We were just starting the social media craze. Okay, now we have that where everybody has an opinion. A person that's a trailer park that barely has any intelligence other than trying to get the next couple of bucks has an opinion out, and they can vocalize that opinion. A person that really hasn't that much intelligence, and this isn't like color standing or anything like that or going against anybody. It's just a phrase, trailer trash. Okay, a person that has that opinion shouldn't. It's one of those things. They don't know when to shut up. They don't know, hey, I have this opinion, I'm going to keep on going. Even if it's totally wrong. And most of the time, you're looking at like 99.9% they're wrong. Sometimes they have that little shining light of being correct, but they're still doing that. That's where we're having that problem.
Goodwill hunting, bitch.
I know, right?
But,
And by the way, if you're hearing this voice on the Siron, he doesn't want to be filmed on camera, but he does want to vocalize his opinion. He wants to try this out with us. We have my friend Kai King going in on this. He's going to be our cameraman, and he's a really good guy. It's just he's really shy against the camera, so hopefully eventually he gets on camera and we can see his somewhat pretty face.
You know it's pretty, boy.
I know, right? But that's what we're in right now. We're in a mass information, but the information sometimes is very, very, very tainted.
Oh, come on, man. They had everything from the cure was drinking bleach to
No.
women's in your eyes, masturbation, vodka.
No.
Cures everywhere.
No. But remember when they had that? It was the malaria, the drug for malaria.
Yeah.
They had that out, and apparently someone died for taking something that sounds similar. Here's an update on that one. They think the wife murdered the husband and used that to poison him, because a lot of the people that he was working with was like, no, seriously, the guy worked on John Deere equipment. Mm-hmm. It was like he works on $1 million equipment. And that's programming, computer programming, maintenance, mechanical skills. It takes a lot just to fix these
He wasn't an unintelligent guy, is what
exactly. So I've heard very few times, and it has happened, where an intelligent person does something stupid to the point to where they do die.
No.
Yeah, I can't even fathom that. But you're having points of opportunity and stuff like this. I mean, there's cases to where, you were saying earlier today, most of the markets that a lot of people don't buy anymore are buying heavily now. The joke of the day is toilet paper. The joke of the day is hand sanitizer. And right now, you're saying that they had a boom of freezer units.
Yeah,
for deep freezers.
They were selling them. At least she told me she sold 12 one day, and then the next day she sold like 8, and then it went all the way up to 24, and then they were out, and they had to back order them. It was just great.
Yeah.
Granted, this was a month ago, roughly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the scare is finally dropping down.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people right now are saying that we're not even going to have meat at the end of the month. I was like, no, you have no idea how easy.
There's so many neighborhood pets that there's going to be.
Oh, that's another thing. A lot of the shelters
have a lot of adoptions.
Yeah.
There's another source of meat right there.
Yeah.
Go get your Chihuahua.
There's not enough meat on a chihuahua.
You can make a taco with a chihuahua.
You can't make a taco. One taco.
Okay.
You mean a half a taco?
And I'm almost agree. No, 2 tacos if you have it. If you make
Have
it
you ever
just-
seen a fat
if-
chihuahua? I have. That's at least
You can make
3/4.
it. You can put as much meat as Taco Bell puts meat into it.
Okay, I can't argue with that.
Then you're saying you can make like 10 tacos.
No.
with, the portioning from Taco Bell, yes, you can.
Yeah. But it's just, and this is, what's really sad is people actually making videos. I mean, the only person that I actually like watching is John Krasinski, the guy from Office. He makes weekly videos of Something Good Network, and he just publishes stuff that's good. And what's really sad is if you watch something like that, it's not getting as much praise as the stuff that's just everything's bad. I mean, I've known for a long time that once you watch the news, it's something bad. Once you watch it on the news, and just to keep everything lightheaded. Oh, here's a squirrel riding on jet skis on a freaking pond. Happy days, people, happy days. But you're all going to die in a horrible, horrible, horrible fire. That's what it ends up to on the news.
Well, I think it's like that with most social media. I mean, there wouldn't have been near as
What
big
sells?
Yeah.
They
And I hate to say that social media is just a new term of saying news. People want to know a new word for new stuff. And we were getting bad news from newspapers
For years.
since print was available.
And I
I
think
don't
that
know.
the real big
I would
thing.
think in some
Dude, you could
situations
probably-
they were
Dude,
news.
Cave painting showing people getting murdered. And that was news back then in the caves.
Yeah, but it would have been true news.
Yeah, it would have been true news.
Well,
But that's, I mean, it's one of those things is people want to have, like,
I
they want to
think-
be informed of what's bad and everything. but-
I don't mind the large quantity of information that is out there, but I think that a person needs to be intelligent enough to,
Cipher through the bullshit.
yeah,
not
to
even cipher through the bullshit.
to-
Go
to-
into go and actually research it.
say, okay, I found this bit of information. Now let's take what it says and cross-reference it here and see what is actually going on, or see what I can at least believe is actually going on from the facts I can pull out of it.
You're absolutely right on that, but right now we have a biased news people, and it's not like the old days where it was kind of biased, and they were. Nowadays they peddle their freaking biasness. Isn't that even a word? Biasness.
I would say they're peddling an agenda. Is what they're doing.
Well,
They
that's
have an
what
agenda.
that's
You know,
what bias
you got
actually
you got
means.
your news groups that are liberals. You got your news groups that are conservative.
Well, okay.
And I'm so sick of liberals and conservatives. I want fucking just Democrats and Republicans back.
I don't even want those. They can take the Democrats, the Republicans, the liberals, the conservatives, push them all into the ocean and see if they swim. The ones that can swim get to come back.
But what if they evolve and they grow like gills?
If they grow gills, then we don't have to deal with them anymore.
They'll be fucking with the fish then, ruining their lives.
Yeah, that's true. Well, okay.
And-
The
and-
newest thing they have out is Joe Biden being accused of sexual assault. Now, this stuff, it's being pushed underneath the rug, and it literally the Me Too movements. Oh, he's still on our side, so it's okay if he molests somebody. I don't give a shit what side of the fucking fence you call your side. This should be an in-between thing to where you can say, hey, that's wrong. But what about Trump? He had sex with a prostitute. And yes, she was a prostitute. And he paid her. And she consented. She signed a document saying she consented. Joe Biden literally molested somebody. Clinton literally molested somebody, and they swept that under. They didn't back then. They didn't really slip
I wouldn't
underneath.
define
the
that
rug
as
much.
molestation. Molestation is
Yeah, I'm wondering about that one because the only thing I ever heard was that,
No. There's several things on the Clintons
Well-
that He did molest some women. I mean, look, he went to freaking Pedophile Island. It is documented that he went to Pedophile Island.
Oh, then he definitely molested somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're talking about...
If you were just
what
talking
was her
about
name?
the scandal...
No, that scandal
Sperm
was basically...
dress was not molest. That's a busy man going, I need sex. And he looked out his door and he's like, come here. I mean, that's exactly
No,
what it was.
because she was willing to lay down and rub one off with one of his cigars for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was a Cuban.
That's a good question.
I mean,
I still like that of Zombieland too, where he's like, that's probably a cigar from the Clinton era.
Yeah. You know, okay, speaking of zombie, and we were earlier talking about the coronavirus, waited my entire life for an apocalypse and got excited about this coronavirus, and I'm very disappointed.
You know,
I sent you the whole thing. It's like, wait a minute, they're not turning into zombies?
You know, the only thing the coronavirus has taught me about these wonderful apocalypses is when we do have the zombie apocalypse, Walmart is going to become a human trap.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody is infected, is going to go into Walmart, and then they're going to turn, and then they're going to bite somebody, and that person's going to turn, and then the entire Walmart is going to be full of infected zombies. And people are just going to keep pouring into Walmart thinking it's okay, and nobody's going to come out.
There's going to be hundreds of zombies walking around pushing baskets full of toilet paper.
Well, okay. Going off of that, there's so much stupid shit I've seen in Walmart. This isn't even going in here lately. I mean, I've seen a woman carry. She had a little baby backpack for babies. You know what she had in there?
What?
Just guess.
Toilet paper.
No, this is before the virus.
Oh, a goat.
A goat.
What's wrong with that?
Fucking goats.
Was it a baby goat?
I don't think it was.
Oh my god, it would be so cute to have a goat.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
I'm
she
thinking-
looked all cracked out and everything.
Oh, she's probably
or
crackhead.
no, I apologize. This is Wichita Falls. I'm sorry.
Meth head.
Meth head.
She was probably carrying dinner home.
Here's the sad part.
That's true.
She was carrying this goat around in her little baby carrier, right? And her poor baby's out in the freaking field somewhere eating grass. Because you got them mixed up.
Well, that's another thing about some of the people. Man, some of the people in this world. I was getting gas at a gas station, and I was just pumping gas. This lady was like, "Hey, I gotta go inside and pay. Can you watch my kid?" Good thing I'm a good, upstanding citizen and caring and everything, but
That's all kind of wrong.
Yeah, you don't ask a complete stranger. I mean, as far as she knew, you could have been related to Bill Clinton or something.
Or I could have been like, what's the clown? Gracie?
Gracie.
John Wayne Gacy?
Oh, yeah.
The thing.
Well, no. He's talking about an actual serial killer.
Yeah, he killed little kids. Boys specifically, raped them and killed them.
Yeah.
He was a serial killer.
He literally dressed up as a party clown, would go to birthday parties, scope the place out, and then come back and get the boy.
Yeah.
Or the birthday kid. So could you just imagine that? Yay, I just turned 5. Next week I'm dead.
Yeah, I could have took.
it's sad
If I was a
fuck.
horrible person, I could have took this kid, put it in my car, and drove off, and no one would have been wiser. I mean, yes, there's cameras nowadays where they could probably track my number, but if I was already prepared for that shit,
Yeah.
and I was doing that, yeah, that's horrible.
That's
There's
just,
another.
that's just being a bad parent. I mean,
And that, yeah, and that's where I get at how people are going on. Those are the type of people saying that, and they're so hypocritical. Where they're saying it's like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this person took this baby. I was like, dude, you know how easy it is? I make it hard because, well, I'm armed, or some people carry knives, or they just do something weird. And this is a very weird scenario, and I hope y'all have this scenario. Watch your fucking kids.
Yeah. That's the only scenario you need to protect your child is to actually be aware of what they're doing.
This one time I was up at Lucy Park and I was babysitting this one kid. She was like on the swing and everything. This little girl comes up. It's like, "Hey, sir, can you push me on the swing?" Fuck no, I can't. in my head, I didn't say this to actual little kid, but I was going
You know
up.
you did.
Oh God, I wish I did. But no, I was like, no, not happening. But y'all can two play together. Y'all the same age, just play
Yeah.
nice.
Because that'd be super appropriate.
Yeah,
Swinging somebody's kid you don't even freaking know.
Here's the thing. I guess this was the mother. She was on her phone the entire time, holding her phone like this. And what I'm doing is I'm basically sitting down, crouched up like a little turtle, looking at her phone. And she slowly approached, moving in, but staying on her phone the entire time, looking at her phone, typing away. Like, oh my God, this is I found one of these creeps that's probably going to be a pedophile. And I'm like motioning her to come here, so, I'm not, oh man, certain situations like this, I am so uncomfortable because I'm looking around going, oh my God, this is weird.
Well, accusations will fly, and the sad thing is those parents that don't pay attention to their damn kids on their phone will be the first one.
Yeah, I put mine, if my when my daughter was here at that age, my phone was gone.
Yeah.
When I'm watching my kid. Or I was playing with her on the freaking park.
I was fixing to say, when it was with my kids, we were playing together. It
Yeah.
was-
Okay, but let's be honest here. When our kids were that age, phones weren't that fun.
Yeah, they were.
No, they
Not with my. Of course, I do have older kids, so.
yeah.
Even my old phone that was a flip phone, I could play games like Runner and
Snake. I'm telling you, those are not fun. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was easier. But
Tetris.
I look at my daughter. I love her to death. She'll come visit me for the weekend, and it's literally she stays on her phone the whole time.
Well,
I mean, she does get off and interact and everything, but it's sad what society has become today.
To be completely honest, phones aren't that fun now.
Okay.
Not really. Yeah, I agree with you. They're not really.
Okay. Here's another scenario, and we just take
Especially
away.
if they don't have internet.
If we take out the phone, okay, on this, what would happen if they had like a group of people going out to the park? Okay, 5 mothers going out to the park so their kids can play on the play set and everything, and the mothers were on the area, in an area like a picnic area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those 5 mothers would be talking to each other and not even fucking paying attention to the kid. It's not a phone problem, it's a society problem because it's like, oh, this conversation is interesting. The kids are enjoying themselves, so I don't have to pay attention to the kids.
Well,
And mind you, when we actually all went out and had our kids out at the playground, either A, we were playing with them, or B, we kept an eye out.
I remember the times that when we took our kids to go do stuff like that, like say we were sitting at the picnic table, we're literally sitting at the picnic table,
Watching
facing the direction of them while BSing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and-
it's tactical.
and if we were standing in like a group per se, we always had at least 2 of us keeping an eye on the kids.
And making fun of them.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's honestly, to tell you the truth, maybe we weren't protecting our children. Maybe we were just waiting for them to fuck up so we had to and that happened plenty enough.
or worst case scenario, we may not have been exactly protecting them, but we were trying to make sure that they didn't injure themselves bad enough that we had to take them to the hospital.
And then if
Even if they did have it, throw some dirt on that and spit on it.
yeah,
I mean,
It's a damn
their
shame.
Their leg could be like chopped off. We would still go put some dirt on it. You'd be all right.
walk it off.
Walk it off.
Walk it off. How am I gonna walk it off without a leg? Good point.
Hop it off.
Hop it off.
Wrap it up. Go down the slide another time, asshole.
Yeah.
And that's why phones should have been great back then, because then we would have been recording them.
Yeah. Oh my God, we could have gotten so much trouble with that. When we were kids, we got in so much trouble with how much stupid stuff we did.
Are you kidding?
Wait a minute. With a lot of the stuff that we did, what's the what do you call the time limit or the criminal stuff? We didn't murder anybody.
I think it's 10 years.
I don't think I did anything illegal.
We did a lot.
I think after 10 years, it's
Okay, you messed up.
I don't.
once.
Murder does not count in that though. I think
Murder doesn't go away. I know rape is 7 years.
No, they've revised that one because there's a lot of people that are.
Yeah, coming back. That's one thing that I really hate because it takes time. It takes time for a person to come up with that shit. Not with that stuff, but come forward
to finally have the confidence to come forward.
Yeah, I need to go fix it. That's the alarm that tells me if I have to go to work today.
But
Time.
honestly, I think rape should be just like murder. It should have no time limit.
Well,
unless I'm wrong about murder not having a time limit.
Okay,
If so, I need
there's
to,
where I disagree with you. Because rape is one of those things that's hard to prove, and you cannot imprison somebody or accuse them of a crime that you cannot prove they committed. Even if they did commit said crime, it is not right to be able to say, I'm placing this accusation on said person, and therefore that makes them guilty.
No,
And you also
I'm
have-
not talking about accusation. I'm talking about, okay, you have physical proof, you have DNA, but you can't find the person because, okay, let's say...
Well, DNA
you
goes over after about 5 years.
Okay.
Even if it's on clothing, it goes away about
No.
5 years.
Technically, DNA can last a solid DNA print can last up to 7 years. The DNA doesn't break down bad enough that it can't be to some degree registered, but as a positive identification, it's a 7-year period.
But
It
what I'm
can
talking
last
about,
longer.
I'm talking about you have a case where a girl's raped. She can't identify the guy, but you know what? His sperm's all over. They get the sperm, they get the evidence, they get the coding, they have it on paper, no more needing it to degrade it or anything, and they have the evidence, so to speak. But they don't know who the dude is because his DNA is not in any kind of registry. And I'm talking like 30 years down the road, they finally find the dude because he, Ancestry.com, because you know those motherfuckers are giving that shit off to the police. And what I'm trying to say is that motherfucker should be able to be busted 30 years later.
Now, here's what I'm saying.
No, I know. A girl just saying, oh, he raped me. No.
Because
It has to have evidence.
even 30 years down the road,
Because
believe it or not,
Trump raped me, and I need my money.
believe it or not, DNA is not
Don't say that
foolproof.
too loud because you'll have like liberal media coming for you asking you when you did it, how you did it. When it happened,
I
how
identify
you
as a
feel.
millionaire, so when am I going to get my money?
I want you to think about it like this. DNA is not foolproof because when they do that, okay, this is the DNA profile and they record it on paper, there can be other people with that DNA profile. They are just looking for matching sets of alleles. And there are other people that can have those same matching sets of alleles. So 30 years later, some Joe Blow that was not even in the state at the time shows up with the same DNA profile, and then
you would have to do
They
DNA.
actually have cases like that.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I know, but you have to also prove that the dude was there and everything else. I'm not saying that it's a close cut shape.
They even
case.
They even have bad cases to where the person looked like the other person.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to have people in prison literally in there for a crime they didn't commit.
And that's what I'm trying to say is I think that's a problem with our justice system. I would rather let somebody who committed a crime go if we can't prove they fucking did it than imprison somebody who didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's also
coming from a guy
also
that's
that
actually been incarcerated.
a lot of the people that actually commit the crime, they just mess up to that half the time anyway.
Well, being a person that was actually incarcerated, it's, how do I put it? I think people need to be punished for the things that they do. I messed up. I did things in my past.
Yeah,
and I paid for it.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Most of the people that are incarcerated that actually did the crime, they will say the same thing. Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I deserved what I did. It's the people that have that.
But you know the
mentality.
return rate of freaking people that have been incarcerated, just Texas alone. You know, this at least during the time period that I went, because it was early 2000s, but 80%. If you've been to prison, there's an 80% chance you're going back.
It's actually
That's
a
sad.
90. It's the recidivism rate is 96%.
Now?
Yep, 96.
Yeah, back in 2000, it was early 2000s, it was 80%.
Now, here's what I'm trying to say is
I'm a 20%er, bitch.
Because of such a high recidivism rate, it's very apparent that our legal system is not doing its job correctly.
Well, okay.
Before you interrupt me,
okay.
think about it like this: you've
What
got
is
a
the
child.
title of this one going to be? Just three dudes bullshitting?
Yeah, you've got a child, and that child is constantly going into the bathroom and smearing toothpaste on the wall, and you're always beating that child's ass for smearing toothpaste on the wall. But the ass whooping ain't stopping the kid from smearing toothpaste on the wall, and the kid doesn't think they've done anything wrong. Until you convince that kid that they've done something wrong, they're going to keep smearing toothpaste on the wall.
Well, that's what incarceration is about. It doesn't. It's not a tool of actual reformation.
You're talking about something. What I'm talking about. We need incarceration to be convincing them that what they did was wrong and showing them a better way. We need to be reforming, not punishing. And I don't believe that, because most people who commit a crime commit
And
a
this
crime
is coming
because,
off people that's been correctional officers.
yeah, people who
Yeah.
commit crimes generally don't believe they did anything wrong.
And here's another thing on that though, is if you're in an area and you go back to that area and you have people that are promoting what you did as right, you're going to keep on doing that crime.
Mm-hmm.
So in my
that's
my
the mentality, though. That's the problem. The people
yeah.
that aren't thinking they did something wrong, that's their mindset.
Yeah.
Now, if you really want to make prison work, because, like I said, I was a 20%er, and now you're saying it's 96%, so technically I'm a 4%er now.
Yeah.
Because I haven't gone back. That's because the mentality and the way they treat prisoners, you're right, they're not reforming. They need to reform.
And they're just basically
and teaching them what they're doing wrong, I don't think you can actually do that. Doing the time should teach them what they did
there's
wrong.
some people that know they did wrong.
Well, I know that, but what I'm trying to say is we're getting to reform. They need to sit there and
But this is where I'm getting
help
is,
them get into society.
Yeah,
to where
and
they don't
there's-
have to do this shit. Because most of the people that are doing it is because they're desperate.
And they
Punishment-
also have to have the willingness to do that, though.
Yeah.
But that's where you're partially wrong. A lot of the inmates that I had to encounter honestly didn't believe they did anything wrong. And it wasn't because they were desperate. They did what they did because they believed what they did was right.
Yeah, and their part of society was actually right.
Yeah.
And until you can teach
Yeah.
them that what they did was wrong, which throwing them in a prison cell and punishing them is not effective. With a 96% recidivism rate, we can clearly show that this form of punishment is not an effective means to teach them that what they did
And
was wrong.
that's what I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm trying to say is, you got your 96%. You got your people that say, okay, I did nothing wrong. Well, if you have the option of being able to go to school and become a doctor or something that's going to make some money, but yet you don't have the resource to do it, oh, here's my resources, let's sell drugs. Or, oh, here's my resources, let's go steal something. That's not what I was. I was a dumbass. I was a kid that was too smart for his own good. And I just stole cars for fun. And I paid for it. And I feel regret for it because I'm not an idiot. And I know what I did was wrong. I was a dumbass. But what I'm talking about is these people that go in there because they did, sold drugs, blah, 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 whatever it was, they're doing it because it was their only option.
Yeah.
Now saying that it was their only option, now they get in prison, all right? Time out in prison will teach you to stay out if you're a person that doesn't want to fucking go back to prison. But those people that get back out and yet they have the same options as before, so they should have. Okay, when I was in there, I signed up for a freaking class, and I got out before I got fucking approved for it, and that was in my early years. That's the problem. They don't offer freaking education. They need education in there.
They do
There should be like a
education in there.
Dude, I signed up for it and I got out before I got into class. Sorry.
I can't.
They offer it, but it's
can't-
bullshit.
But okay, you're also looking at government.
Y'all are looking at it from an outside where y'all get to go home.
Yeah.
Think about having to be there and then you sign up for an education course, to better yourself and literally get out of prison before you even get accepted into the class.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Tylenol. Hey, I need some Tylenol because I have a headache. By the time I get the Tylenol, because I filled out the slip and everything, that fucking headache's gone. It's 3 days later, a week later, 2 weeks later sometimes. The system is broken is because they don't... Freaking prisons should be colleges that are fucking walled off. Is literally what they should be.
Well, I don't disagree with you to an extent, but I can also say that those people that you're talking about that we're sitting here saying they did have a better option.
Like what?
Let's see. Society, we provide schooling. If you had gone to school and taken at least a little bit of inclination to do better for yourself, there have been numerous people that come out of those same societies that took an inclination to do better for themselves rather than to just
I agree with you, but then they also have talent too, though.
To do what's easy. No, it's you've got one group that says this is easy, and you've got one group that says I'm going to work hard.
No, it's not talent; it's determination.
That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you look at a person that is determined, look
determined. There's no Terminators in this.
But I want to make Terminator.
Anyways, off of my stupidness on that one, and even that is probably not even a word. Look at the Pursuit of Happiness. The guy, they made a movie off of a guy that he was poor. He had he was trying to better himself, and he got a stock market job. He worked his butt off to get that. He lived in a freaking bus stop a bus stop restroom. There's several times he had to do that. And he worked his butt off to get to where he was. That guy right now, when that movie came out, he retired with $300 million. He literally came from nothing. And, oh my gosh, he was black. He shouldn't have been able to do that because we have white privilege.
Bullshit.
No. It's about determination. And if a person that wants to argue about, hey, I can't do this because I have this. It's an excuse.
They're making excuses, and if
they're literally pushing themselves back against the wall because they desire something, but they're not willing to go out and push to the limit to where they are breaking.
So, and that's the big thing right there is
that's everybody in society though.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It
you
literally
have to literally have a certain mindset. Look, the three of us
No,
are
you can
intelligent
make
guys,
that
but where are we
mindset.
at life?
I'm sorry, you can make that mindset.
None of us are millionaires.
I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I don't ever want to be a millionaire.
No.
Take me, for example. What was it? A year and a half, 2 years ago? I was so hemmed up by my anxiety that I didn't even fucking want to leave the house. David would literally come over and go, we're going. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stay. No, you're coming.
Headlocks. Weird stuff we won't want to talk about later on. We'll write a book about it and people were like, what the fuck?
I finally realized, I want to work. I want to be out of the house. Even though, it felt like my skin was crawling whenever I was even in a room with this many people.
Yeah.
I want to be out doing things. So I went looking for help. And there is help. There's also the same help for those other people that end up in those positions where they're saying, oh, well, I didn't have any other choice but criminal activity. Well, that's bullshit, because not only is there help for people out there like me who had a mental disability that wanted to do better for themselves, but there's help out there for people who don't have, and they can be directed to get those, because they helped me find
I wasn't
a job.
literally saying that was their only choice. I was saying, you have this opportunity. If you have the opportunity, not really their own personal drive, but in order to get higher education, in a lot of cases, a lot of these, any of these freaking fun things that help you go to college isn't going to get you a really higher education. What I'm trying to say is they took the easier route that was there.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying that's their only option.
Because
anybody with drive, You know,
And I'm trying to
Chappelle
say
talking
is-
about his life. I love Chappelle.
I'm trying
This
to say
man
that
talking about his life. He even went back to his home, and you need to watch the video where he's talking about when he talked to the high school students when he went back to his own high school.
And all I'm trying to say is that they don't think they were wrong. They don't think that what they did was wrong because they saw it as an easy way out. They saw it
And
as
you
the
also-
easy
and
option
you have-
instead of realizing that taking the easy out was the wrong path and
Well-
that they can correct that
Okay,
by
okay,
just going a different
hold on.
Crime never pays. It's an old saying, and it's true.
Hold on that. There's also a flip side to that, what you're talking about. You're also looking at people that are actually telling that other person. It's like a pyramid scheme, okay?
Right.
This is exact drug dealing. Being a drug lord is basically a pyramid scheme.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You have somebody that has an Escalade or whatever fancy car have nowadays. Okay, that person comes up to you. Hey, I'm doing this. You could be doing this. I can bring you in. Boom, 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 boom. He gets that guy gets arrested. That guy with the Escalade, he gets arrested. He goes to jail. Comes back out. Hey, I still got that spot for you. He already knows that this is an easy pass to get a lot of cash. I've had so many inmates tell me, you know, when I was out, I was making 5 times the amount of money you were making. And as soon as I get out, I can do the same thing. You know what? You're absolutely right. But what are you taking away from yourself? Nothing. I'll get out and I'll do it again and I'll come back. Because of the mindset of even people in there, it's like, yeah, dude, you can do that again and everything. You can make $100,000 again. You're wasting your time.
I had a cellie that literally had chemistry books ordered, came in, and refined his crystal meth method.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't making that cheap-ass Nazi meth. He was making real crystal meth.
Mhm.
That's what he got in prison for. And he sat there and got chemistry books and wrote down a new formula for ones who wanted to try. That's sad. I mean, but that is a mentality set that the people get. It's like I told you. In order to get people out of that mentality, the easy way out, prison needs to change to have free education.
And I think we
Just
both.
education.
I don't think that free education is going to do it because think about it like this: your friend was obviously educated enough that he could have done other things.
Oh yeah, he was
Now-
smart enough to figure out chemistry. He could have done other things with his life.
Now,
But he's used to the easy way out.
but now here, I don't think that the prison system itself is the answer. I think that trying to punish someone before you teach them, which we're agreeing and we're kind of disagreeing at the same time.
Well, okay, you're saying teach the individual before you send them to prison.
No,
Right?
I'm saying that prison itself, as a punishment, is not a functioning, working system, and that
All prisons
We
manage to
need-
do is to get the element out of society.
right.
But the element will eventually come back into society. And unless you do something, okay, there's 2 types of people that go to prison. One that's going to go back to life crime, and the one that's got fucking, I don't know if you could really say scared, because I never really was honestly scared. You know,
And I think
I was
that
cautious.
I think that has to do with the amount of time. How long were you there?
I was only there 2 years technically.
Then
That was enough to tell me I'm never going back.
then you're within the group that usually doesn't go back.
Yeah.
Usually, the ones that go back are the ones that get a sentence of 5 years or more.
Oh yeah, because they're in there so long. I was in there 2 years. When I got out, I could not be in public.
They call it being institutionalized.
Yeah,
but
I know. That's what I'm saying. I definitely was. That's only after 2 years. But it was easy for me to get past it. But I can't imagine, being in there 10 years. And I'm not saying...
Or 5.
Yeah. I mean, okay, you got people that murder people. They need to just sit in there and rot. Or actually, you know what? Just do China meth and just shoot them once they're guilty.
I disagree
Fuck
with
it.
that altogether. Those
And
murderers,
if you find out they weren't guilty later, you pay their families a big, healthy settlement.
those murderers, we don't need to kill them. We don't need to put them in prison. They have a skill that they specialize in.
Send them across seas to go kill people?
Yeah, they have a skill that
They
they
used to do that.
specialize
Yeah,
in.
You have the option. Dude, you literally have the option to go either military or prison back in the day. They
Yeah,
took that
World
away.
War One, World War Two. There's actually a company that actually was just criminals that killed people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get somebody that's an expert car thief. Don't lock his ass up in prison.
Or shit, make
Pick
him.
him, pull him in and have him do work for you.
There was. I wish I could come up with find out what this story, because I had this story one time where a guy that was a serial killer, they used him to torture people so they can get information. Now, this is way back when. I think it was like World War One.
That's what I'm getting at is,
But
these people have a skill set, and they don't mind performing said skill set. They've obviously shown that since we were wanting to lock them up in prison.
and sometimes they actually do use those types of people.
And why not use them for what they're good for? You know, all of these.
Okay.
Yeah, but what are you going to use a drug
there's
dealer for? I mean,
There's
other
a
than go peddle
I mean,
bad drugs to other countries that you
there's
want to
a
stabilize.
fine line there, and it's one of those things that some people are comfortable with and some people aren't. And the people that are not comfortable with, there's far more people that aren't comfortable with it. That's why they get rid of it. Look at back after World War II, Project Paperclip. I mean, we literally had Nazis. And I'm not talking about Nazis that, hey, they were just taking orders. No. They were evil motherfuckers.
Well, how do you think medicine and everything else fucking advanced as much as it did?
Yeah, and that's how a lot of people, when I talk about World War II, a lot of people was like, oh, that was a horrible war. Yes, it was a horrible war, but some good came of it. And they're like, what came out of we had advanced medical skills because they were trying things and they were
doing extremely unethical things to figure out how to do better things. Which
No,
it's a huge tragedy. It really is.
It is
the point is medical jumped decades.
It is a huge tragedy, but here's the thing: a lot of people don't realize the end always justifies the means, whether you like it or not.
But people don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Especially, and I'm not condoning people that did that.
No, I'm not condoning what they
that
did.
is way, but kind of is like, was it?
But most politicians look at it from a different scale. They don't see you as Dave and me as Michael. They see
nowadays it's all depending on what kind of party you're in.
They see you as 0013 and me as
Yeah.
They see us as numbers. And quite frankly, in their line of thinking, if I have to sacrifice 10 to save 10,000...
Do you need another drink?
What do you got?
I'm just tea. I got shit ton of tea.
No, keep going.
They will write
Just
you
clean my
off.
glass in there. Yeah.
That's every politician in any country all over the world right now. If
Your 10-digit number. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Social
No,
security
16.
number. Social security number.
It's not 10, is
Yeah, it is.
it? I thought it was 16.
3, 2, 4.
That equals 10.
No, it doesn't. Not in my.
Hey.
No.
Before you feel stupid, I sat there and thought it out in my head before I made the comment. So don't feel bad.
16's a credit card number.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew something. I knew which one it was. But it's really bad because when it comes around.
My cups over here. You have more cups than I do of mine.
Probably.
Are all these clean in the dishwasher?
Yes.
You can edit that out.
Yeah, I can, but I don't want. Doing this stuff, I don't edit that much.
We could always say David went in there and licked all of them.
We're so immune to most things, it's not even funny. We've done so much stupid stuff.
He's going to edit it out to where it's us just continuously saying, I love you, David.
David, you are the best.
Yeah. But that's where we come into as a society, is if we feel something's wrong, or if if a large group of people feel something's wrong, or it costs way too much, we won't do it.
And never underestimate a large number of idiots.
No,
Yeah.
it's never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's the quote.
Yeah. Well, everybody, that's the end of the episode. My name is David Dickerman.
I'm Michael Moffat.
And back in the sidelines where you can't see him is Kai King. And this is Angry Green Production. Thank you for watching. And go ahead and we have a Facebook page. Hit the like button on YouTube. And subscribe if you want to hear more of this. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.